Tonight, an 8 on your side investigation. Storefronts for sex. Kennedy Boulevard is either the healthiest street in Tampa or the sleaziest. You can find more so-called health spas along that stretch of road than anywhere else in the city. But police say what's going on behind the closed doors time and time again is prostitution and not therapy.
Mark Douglas has been investigating this problem for more than a year. He joins us now with a closer look at what's going on inside these parlors.
Well, Keith and Jen, it all started when we received this anonymous letter alleging in great detail what goes on behind the doors of some of those Kennedy Boulevard spas, So when we started digging, we uncovered evidence that prostitution is thriving despite City of Tampa laws and police enforcement.
Why you just start?
It looks like a lot of security cameras here. The spas we investigated on Kennedy Boulevard have surveillance cameras guarding every outside door.
This is a system here.
And massage customers who wanted no part of us. We saw 7 private massage rooms inside this spa and a surprise hiding behind door number 8. Hi, how you doing?
Hi, how are you?
That's just one of the Kennedy Boulevard spas this undercover Tampa police detective has investigated for what he calls organized prostitution. Records show street cops have questioned the staff here 60 times in 5 years. Why doesn't the city of Tampa just shut these places down if you know there's prostitution going on there?
So we work to try to close them down.
But making a case is tricky business.
We're not the typical John. We can't go in there and get naked.
We visited 4 spas with histories of prostitution investigations that resulted in a grand total of just 2 arrests in 5 years. This masseuse swore her business is legit.
Yeah, just massage only.
Just massage only?
Yes.
Well, then why are you wearing lingerie? The undercover detective tells me that's the standard uniform.
Skin type dress or miniskirt.
Prostitution or not, it's illegal for massage workers to live in spas. But this sure looked like a bedroom to us. What's your name?
I don't want to say interview.
It looks like you live in here.
No, not here. It's next building.
The Tampa City Council began cracking down on sketchy massage parlors 5 years ago, but never followed through. Who dropped the ball on this?
Well, what happened, if you saw in the research, we waited to find out what the legislature was going to do about human trafficking specifically.
Councilman Mike Suarez now admits that was a mistake.
We have not followed up on it, and that is our fault on council and my fault specifically.
Guido Maniscalco wasn't on the council 5 years ago, but he is now.
This is out of control.
And he's appalled by the video we showed him.
Your investigation is showing us what's going on behind the scenes. Why is that woman wearing lingerie? Why is she not in scrubs?
Based on what we uncovered, Maniscalco has put prostitution on Kennedy Boulevard back on the city agenda. He's calling for a report to City Council by Tampa Police later this month.
Now, this is an opportunity to remedy something that's very, very wrong here in the city.
Tampa police tell me they try to make racketeering cases or cite them as nuisance businesses, but suspects vanish. Businesses change hands, and the spa owners always seem a few steps ahead of the game. And as of today, we counted 10 of these places just on Kennedy Boulevard and even more on nearby Dale Mabry.
Well, Councilman Mike Suarez admitting there's a problem there, yes. but it also sounds like Tampa's a long way from putting the brakes on this sort of business.
Yes, they are. You know, they're trying the best they can. I think they need to change in tactics. Perhaps this meeting that's coming up with the City Council on May 18th, they'll come up with some new ideas and get back at it. They were really after this about 4 or 5 years ago, and then it just disappeared.
But 10 stores on Kennedy, wow.
Just on Kennedy.
All right,
yep.
Thank you, Mark. Police say these investigations are complaint-driven, so if you have one, call it in. For more on this story, including a map of locations and a slideshow inside one of the spas, you can head over to WFLA.com.
6 years ago, candidate Rick Barcena strapped on a signboard as a campaign stunt for election to the Tampa City Council.
The panhandling needs to stop, and people need to get to work.
Barcena lost that election, but he's been chairman of the city's code enforcement board for years, all the time while owning this property where a succession of Asian massage spas have operated. Brandon Pierpoint called police last year when he suspected prostitution was going on inside.
And I think that the entire city is being victimized by this, the entire Tampa Bay area.
An undercover Tampa police officer later reported a masseuse offered him sex, and he sent a racketeering letter to the business and property owner. No one answered when we paid a visit today. Hello, this is Mark Douglas from News Channel 8. Is anybody in there? We saw other customers arriving and departing, but whoever was inside wanted nothing to do with us. And neither did Tampa's code enforcement chairman, Rick Barcena, who has owned that Kennedy Boulevard property for 14 years. It was pretty obvious to us last April that therapeutic massage wasn't the only personal service offered at the 7-star spa.
Yeah, just massage only.
Just massage only?
Yes.
Well, then why are you wearing lingerie? Our investigation uncovered a 5-year pattern of prostitution arrests at a number of spas up and down Kennedy that did nothing to shut down those storefronts for sex.
I'm glad that we're discussing this because this entire situation is a complete embarrassment to the city, and it should be an embarrassment.
Now Tampa City Council members led by Mike Suarez are trying a new tactic.
It's not about cleaning up Kennedy. It's about cleaning up Tampa.
The new plan is to revisit Tampa's old bathhouse ordinance passed during the peak of the AIDS epidemic. Among other things, it may call for city permitting and inspections of massage spas, require street front entrances, make workers wear uniforms instead of sexy lingerie, and force customers to register.
And a lot of people are saying, enough, it's time for this to end.
Joe Manson first formed the local Clean Up Kennedy protest group as a result of our investigation. Now he's getting support from a national anti-human trafficking organization called Polaris. They flew in one of their leaders today just for this city council workshop.
So for Florida, especially Tampa being the lead in Florida, taking a stand on this, it could have ripple effects across the country if they do this ordinance right.
That's exactly what the activists at Clean Up Kennedy hope will happen.
If the bathhouse ordinance doesn't work, we'll try something else.